The hell's wrong with Setsu? Poison this time? Maybe there's a repercussion from looping too much. I mean, we know Setsu has looped more than Yuri has. You gotta be shitting me. We just hook, line, and sinkered the dolphin? No, I guess we can say Setsu wasn't a Gnosia, because if Setsu was, we would have had the red eye in that moment. Well, good luck, guys. You got 2 humans down. Rip bozos. See, what's kind of interesting is that people will bitch about this, but the interlude for a show like Gnosia, it's actually good to have a midpoint episode where our 2 central loopers go over everything for us so we can go into the next arc completely charged up, you know? Are we saying that in loops where SQ is just SQ, Kukurusha is Manet? Okay. Oh, she's a Gnosia. Awkward. Look at that face, bro. That's the face of someone who fucking knows he fucked up. Oh, shit. So this is why the Silver Key wants information, because everything is linking up to one answer. You better not end the episode, and you better tell me. That's one freaky Gnosia. What the fuck did I just say? I said don't end the episode, you bitch. Boy, oh boy, it's a good be back with Gnosia. Even if probably a lot of people are gonna start sleeping on it because of a new anime season, and that's concerning. Got this far in the video. Make sure you drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here. You know Patreon's where you're going to catch my full live reaction no matter what. Also helps fund the channel videos just like these. So I am concerned about the future of Gnosia for 2 reasons. One, like I said, new anime season. The show, while having buzz in the last season, given how anime fans acted like it was the driest season known to man, I've already made my feelings clear. That's an incorrect take. You guys just have a very narrow view of what is good anime, but I digress. You would think the show would have been a lot larger than it was. And while there is elements, I think the show didn't get the popularity I believe it deserves. So now entering a season that everyone's saying is the craziest season ever, I think the show's going to get heavily slept on. Even more so because the first half of this was like an interlude, a little kind of cute little Setsu and Yuri kind of bonding debrief. But man, the one thing that I didn't also consider is the concerning aspects of what the mental fatigue that these characters are going to go through. Because for Setsu, we know Setsu's a lot deeper in looping than Yuri is. And the fact that we actually see Setsu just kind of pass out is something you don't expect, because you're just so expecting like, oh, every time you loop, you're fresh. Even if you're mentally tired, physically you're fine. And we see Setsu just completely crash. The repercussions of all these loopings kind of has me intrigued on where we can go. On top of the fact is that we kind of have an answer of how everything is connecting, and it's deeply concerning. We now know the one who I always refer to as Cleopatra. I believe her name is Yuriko, right? So we know that the Silver Keys, they want information. So both Yuri as well as Setsu have been collecting information, and seemingly it tries to loop you into a loop that is going to give you information that is needed. So for a while, Setsu's been looping because of the little doll girl. Kukurushika? Like, I ain't trying to say that, okay? The doll girl, okay? The doll girl. So we know she can go on a rampage. We also know she can just not exist on the ship. And the fact that there's so many things that have been tying into, like, SQ and the whole, like, mother dynamic and what Renman's been going through. But it's interesting how what started off as a lot of just random loops and random story beats, now that we're in the second half of the show, we have, I think, 8 episodes left. I believe it's 21 episodes. We now are starting to realize that it's all one plot. And, you know, the big question is, can we have a loop where everyone is safe? I still believe there will be some element of sacrifice, whatever that will be. But depending on how it all loops with the, did the memory consciousness transfer successfully? If not, did it go here? Depending on what answers we get in next week's episode, potentially will either give us the path to saving everyone, or it will cement the fact that no matter what, someone's getting sacrificed by the end of a loop, right? That's why I think the first half is actually quite sweet. The term filler gets tossed around a lot in the anime community. I think it's kind of lost its meaning. But I will say, if you skipped the first half of the episode, basically just watched onwards, like second half onwards, would you lose out on anything? Would you really feel like Setsu and Yuri's relationship was that much different? Probably not. So if people do call the first half filler, I mean, it is the interlude. I mean, I would get it, but I do think it's still enjoyable And I do think it kind of provides that relief that for Yuri, past couple of arcs have been very, very painful. Do I think it would have been best to have this episode last week? So maybe, you didn't have a week break and then come back and then, you just kind of have cute little bonding dates? Maybe. But it does provide for some satisfying characterization. And the fact that they immediately within the same episode transition into more plot relevant stuff is a surprising change of pace. I also like the fact that the punchline of the reason why, because this was the first time this has ever happened, they pushed the meeting an entire day. Turns out the reason it was allowed was because Yuri agreed that by the end of it, both of them would go into cryosleep. Which kind of sucks for that loop when you think about it, because neither one of them turned out to be a Gnosia, so we kind of just doomed that timeline just so we could have a debrief. So that's kind of funny. It's also quite funny to me that, like, for most of this show, I've been thinking to myself, hey, like, are we ever going to get that 2-episode loop? No, we never would, but instead we did get 4 loops in 1 episode, so that's a bit of a twist. And when it comes to Yuriko, I have to imagine, given some lines that have been said towards Yuri, we could assume that anytime she's been on the ship, she's been waiting, right? Because she talks to Yuri in a way here that, like, hey, like, I can't believe how long it took you, right? So this could have been information we gained a lot earlier, but hey, better late than never. And to be honest, I don't think I would have been able to come to the same conclusion that Yuri did. So whatever happens is going to happen. It's just, I really feel like it's a make it or break it. Whatever we learn here is going to cement Yuri into thinking it's hopeless to save everyone, or it will give Yuri the idea on how potentially to move forward gathering information, which may allow them to save everyone, right? Listen, at the end of the day, I think this show is great. I do generally worry there isn't going to be an audience for me to do it on YouTube. Like, the videos range from doing okay to pretty good, but that was in an anime season that people tried to convince me was a piss poor anime season, and I disagreed heavily. So you are going to have to be better with likes and comments to help the video do well. Listen, ever since YouTube changed how it counts views, because anyone who uses ad blocker, their views don't count. And in doing so, I don't give a shit about the ad portion, but it actually does stop the video from doing well because so many of your views aren't being counted, which doesn't help it promote in the algorithm. So if you really do want more videos on this, because I have no problem locking it behind Patreon, even though it's probably the show I have the most fun talking about every week, we got to cut the fat somewhere. So I'm just saying, you want more videos on this? You gotta let me know. Every week, you gotta let me know. I want more videos, likes, all that stuff. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to cut this more than the characters be getting cut in the world of Gnosia. But let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the first half? Like I said, I get why there's probably going to be some pushback against it. I think it served a nice kind of debrief purpose. Maybe if the whole episode would have just been that, I would have had a different tune, but I think it did well before transitioning into some mindfuckery, you know? So your thoughts, drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here. Patreon is where you'll catch my full live reactions no matter what. Like, hey, I love to give video shouts to my patrons because without them, you won't get these YouTube videos. All right, so today we got Matt Barker, Xenogod, Mario Jacob, Akira, Table, original name here, Brian Gonzalez, Cody Tiffany, and we also have TR's Grace. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You know, have a good one.